Let me ask you this. What do secular scientists say about the virgin birth? Don't they look at that and say, virgins can't have babies? That's not true. That never happened. I hope you look back at them and say, no, you're wrong. A virgin did have a baby. I hope you look at them and say, the Bible's right and you're wrong.
Have you ever wondered what a Christian-taught science class would look like? A biology class, to be specific? Well, today I'm going to give you that exact opportunity. And it's, whatever you're thinking it's going to be, it is that. Maybe even worse. Because in this science class, the message is, you can't trust science. You just have to blindly believe in the Bible.
So don't feel like you're in bad company. Don't feel like, well, all the smart guys believe that it's old. That's not true. That is not true at all. So let's look at some of the evidence. It matters to take God at his word. If his word is not our final authority, then who is? What is? Is it the evidence? Is it you? Are you the final authority of what is true and what's not? Is Joe Biden the final? I hope not. Let me ask you this. What do secular scientists say about the virgin birth? Don't they look at that and say, virgins can't have babies? That's not true. That never happened. I hope you look back at them and say, no, you're wrong. A virgin did have a baby. I hope you look at them and say, the Bible's right and you're wrong. Now, yes, it was a miracle. Yes, it defies the laws of physics and science, sure.
So we all know, I'm assuming we all know, it's pretty common knowledge, the Bible wasn't written in English originally. It was written in Hebrew, and then it was translated into Greek, and eventually it was translated into English. And as is to be expected, when you're translating an original work from language to language to language, there are some mistranslations and there are some mistakes. And the original Hebrew term that they translated into English did not refer to a virgin as we know the term virgin today, meaning never having had sex. It meant a young woman. It was the exact counterpart to a very similar term that just meant young man. So yes, science is correct. Jesus was not born of a virgin Mary. He was born of a young Mary. That's all it meant. But this seems like the kind of guy that would say, you can't trust the original Hebrew Bible. You can only trust the English King James Version that's been translated over and over again. So go off, man. What else do you have to say?
But we should presuppose the Bible to be true before believing what they say. I mean, what would they say about a man living in the belly of a fish for 3 days? They would say that's impossible. Well, actually, no, it's not. It's in the book of Jonah.
Oh, well, I mean, if it's in the book of Jonah, I mean, of course it's true. Who needs proof when you have the book of Jonah?
What do they say about people coming back from the dead? They say that's impossible, right? That doesn't happen. We should look at them and say, no, it does. And I know that, and I can be sure of that because the Bible says it does. So you're wrong. It's okay to call scientists wrong. It's okay, because the Bible says they're wrong.
And you wonder why people don't trust science these days. There is a difference between having faith in something and having blind faith in something. You have to understand how malleable that makes you, how gullible that makes you, how easy to manipulate that makes you if you just get to believe everything that's in the Bible or what they say is in the Bible. Because honestly, I guarantee you most of the people who use the Bible for their beliefs like this haven't even read it.
So before I show the evidence, I want to be clear about this. Even if there was no evidence at all to back up the Bible, which of course there is because the Bible's true, but even if there was no evidence at all, I would still believe the Bible. I would still believe it. When you get to heaven, if you're not saved, you're not going to be able to stand before God. No one's going to be able to stand before God and say, God, you didn't give me enough evidence. You have plenty of evidence. The creation is enough.
The Bible is true, and even if it wasn't true, I would still believe it was true because it's true. My evidence? Creation. You know how I know? It's in the Bible. There is no evidence of the Christian creation, by the way, but there is evidence of evolution, which he's going to try and disprove in this next clip here.
So, but let's look at some of the evidence for a young Earth. Does anyone know the name of this fish? Has anyone heard of this fish? This is called a coelacanth. And scientists have dated this fish to be 165 years old. Until a scientist went fishing, I think somewhere off the coast of Indonesia, and he was with these fishermen, and these fishermen reeled a coelacanth in. And the scientist was blown away. Oh, we just caught a dinosaur. That thing is 165 million years old. And the guys were like, what are you talking about? We catch these things all the time. These things are out here all the time. And when you look at this picture and you compare it to a fossil of what they believe to be 165 million years old, there's absolutely no changes. It's exactly the same. How is that possible in 165 million years?
Oh, he thought he was so smart. He thought he really had a gotcha right there. The coelacanth, while it hasn't changed much in appearance, its body is largely the same looking, its genome has changed almost entirely. 62 new genes in the coelacanth now than there used to be in the fossils that we found from 62 million years ago. But you would find that in a science journal, which is sort of taboo and a no-go, according to this guy, because it's okay to tell scientists they're wrong because you have the Bible, remember? And the reason we thought it was extinct was because we've only explored about 5% of the ocean. So we're bound to find things now and again that we thought were different, that we thought were extinct. This is why we shouldn't have Christian science. Christian-taught science is just a recipe for disaster, guys. Just a recipe for disaster. Thank you so much for watching. As always, do your own research. A quick Google search can save you so much time. And if you want to check out some of my content that isn't news related, you can check out my personal YouTube channel at BadGamerWyatt. And until then, I will see you in the next video. Thank you.